Hey guys, Scott Fishman here for Wrestling Inc. And it's Fishmania here today at Wrestling Inc. because we have Bobby Fish of the Undisputed Era who's gearing up to challenge for the NXT World Tag Team Championship with Roderick Strong against Breezango. How you doing, Bobby Fish?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So we just finished the one-year anniversary of NXT on USA Network. You and the Undisputed Era were such big parts of this evolution of the show. Just talk about it, what it means to reach this milestone, and how you guys think you did with this platform.
I'm sorry. Say that again, real quick.
Yeah, just now that we have the one-year anniversary of NXT on USA Network. Just how do you think everything went?
I think for the first year, it couldn't have gone better. I think USA Network trusted us, knew that the product was something people wanted to see, and they brought us aboard. And I feel like for the first year, like all the way around, it's got to be a success. I mean, it's been. I feel like we've been clicking on all cylinders since the beginning.
And with that, I feel like the last couple of months we've seen a lot of new faces. Talk about kind of what's the feeling of the locker room with all these new emerging talent that's come on the scene, and you're facing Breezango this week. Just the evolution of talent and just getting this opportunity to be on the show, because it's a unique brand compared to Raw and SmackDown in many ways.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's very much its own sort of thing, and I think we have a unique style. I think we are different, and I think that what makes us different is also what makes us so appealing. I think we all take pride in putting out the product, continuing to put out the product that we've put out from the beginning, and to deliver to USA what it is that they wanted and what they've come for. Like, we continue to give them that.
And for you, there's the perception of NXT from the start with it on being on USA Network as being this third brand. You hear Triple H talking about it a lot. But then you see things like with the brand, you see the draft where, it's just Raw and SmackDown included. And you even hear the announcers bring up, getting called up to the main roster even now and then. Does that kind of add just an extra chip on your shoulder and the other guys and girls in the locker room, who are working to be on that same level as Raw and SmackDown?
I won't speak for anybody other than myself, really. A little bit for my brothers in the Undisputed Era. Like, I think the four of us, we know why we were hired. We are confident in who we are, and I know for the four of us, we consider ourselves workhorses, and that's why we have jobs. And that's, I think, in a lot of ways, what NXT is known for is like a certain level of workmanship that comes across in what we do. And I think when it's any one of the four of us or any combination of the four of us, yeah, we have a chip on our shoulder. And we've got something to prove every time we go out there. And I will speak for the four of us when I say that. And then for me personally, like, I've always had a chip on my shoulder. I'm the youngest of three siblings. I'm not the tallest guy in the world. I've had a lot of doubters my whole life, and I've been an athlete my whole life. So, like, the way that I express myself most successfully is generally physical. And so if you're going to doubt me because of this thing or that thing, I operate at my best when I have a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. So I know for me personally, NXT is the perfect fit. And for the four of us in the Undisputed Era, we are operating and clicking on all cylinders when we have a little bit of a chip on our shoulder, and that goes for Kyle, Adam, Roddy, and myself.
And you've built, been so important part of NXT for so many years now as the Undisputed Era, as this unit. Just talk about the bond that you guys have and just how Triple H saw that and really has led you guys run with the ball in many ways. You had the championships, very similar to other successful factions like the Four Horsemen. Just talk about the bond that you guys have, even inside and outside the ring as a support system, because there's oftentimes where things might happen outside the ring, in personal life where someone gets injured and maybe they feel down and they need that extra motivation to come back. So over these 12 years and now into WWE, just how is this kind of Undisputed Era bond kind of built stronger between the four of you?
I think it works because it's real, and it sounds crazy in a business that has as much criticism as it has for being less than honest or less than real or whatever you want to call it. The history between the four of us is real. We have beat the hell out of each other on multiple continents. We've also stood side by side with one another and beat the hell out of other people. We've experienced the ups and downs of this business and the miles and the traveling and all that comes with it. And it's we haven't exclusively been with each other for all of it, but in this combination or that combination, like the four of us have crossed paths and at times spent endless miles with one another coming up in this business. So what you see is real. It's not fabricated. Nobody put us together. We knew each other in this way and ended up under the same roof in WWE. And you hit the nail on the head. Like Triple H, who is my boss, and honestly, like maybe I don't know. I feel like I would wholeheartedly win the argument with anyone when we talk about who's got the best mind for pro wrestling. Like, to me, Triple H, it's crazy how apt he is, his aptitude for this business. And I think he saw something that I would think that, like, Adam, Kyle, and I would have liked to write for ourselves, but would have never taken that ball and run with it. And he saw it and was like, yep, and those three, and put the three of us together. And I don't know when the idea was launched with Roddy. I mean, I know, like, on the surface it looks like, okay, well, my knee, I blew out my ACL, and then that was the timing of things. But I've seen now for 3 years the way Triple H operates, and I feel like he probably had an idea long before that, and maybe that was a plan regardless if I was injured or not. But, like, I mean, just 4 peas in a pod, and Triple H was the one smart enough to see that and recognize it. And now it's a little bit of a humble brag, I guess, but now WWE gets the benefit from that, and we as the 4 individuals get the benefit from being this brand that nobody had given a name to yet, and then Triple H did, and now along with Shawn Michaels, like between the two of them, they really have their influence on helping us become who we are is really I don't know, you can't put a price tag on it.
And, we're seeing an evolution when it comes to Kyle O'Reilly. He had that great match with Finn Balor where he's being featured more in a singles capacity. Talk about what your thoughts on seeing that happen and just showing the potential that, together you're a unit, but individually, you can also be just as strong.
I think what you're seeing with Kyle now is just opportunity. It's always been there. I've had the best seat in the house to, back to the Red Dragon days, whether it be Ring of Honor or New Japan. Like, I was sitting on the apron to watch this process, and he's rubbed off on me. I've rubbed off on him. I think what you're seeing with Kyle specifically right now, and I mean, I'll say it flat out. Like, he's my favorite wrestler to watch right now, and I've been doing martial arts since I was 8 years old. So I blend a lot of that into my pro wrestling, and I think Kyle does the same thing, and I think there's a lot of people trying to do that. I think that there are few people who do it well. Again, I would like to think that I'm one of those people that does it well. And there are definitely others, and then there are others that don't do it so well or could do a better job, in my opinion. Kyle is, in my opinion, conversely, the one who does it the best right now, and I think that that's what you're seeing, like in that match with him and Finn from TakeOver. And you're seeing two guys who had similar career paths but different workers, but who have a common thread of there's a certain way that this business is done best and presented at its best. And I think what you saw in that TakeOver match was that, like, you know, you can say what you want about our business, but this is not ballet, and it was never supposed to be ballet. And I think guys like Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard and guys that I was a fan of and watched growing up, I'd like to think that they would look at that match between Finn and Kyle, and even though some of the more mixed martial arty elements that I really appreciated in that match because of the training that I do, that may be lost on, you know, Arn or Tully or someone of that generation, I think they would still appreciate what that match stood for and the way that it was upholding the way that they did our business then. And Kyle and Finn went out and they did our business, also their business, meaning, you know, guys of that generation, but they did it in our updated 2020 style. And I mean, man, that's some of the best wrestling that I've seen in a long time, in my opinion. And I think you're seeing just the
Hello?
Hello? Yep, I'm here.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I missed out there. So you have their match. Yeah. Hello? So you have your match coming up with Breezango. Talk about just what they are, you know, as opponents. You're seeing a team that just, you know, came to NXT back on the scene. You know, a lot of people maybe not take them as seriously as a lot of folks do because, you know, as you mentioned, the style being, and then their style being a little unique. What can fans expect from this match, and what do you think about working with guys like Fandango and Tyler Breeze?
I love and appreciate that Dango and Breeze can cover the real estate that they cover in being able to do so many things. They're so unique in that way. I defy anyone to watch whatever they're doing when it comes to matches, promos, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, it just looks to me like they're having fun. And why are we all here on this earth? You know, like I think sometimes that's what we miss, and some attention needs to be paid to just going out and having a good time. So I can really appreciate that. I think very similar to like a guy like Santino Marella. I think Dango and Breeze, and they kind of have this dynamic together. They can make you laugh, and they can have fun, and they can visit these places that not every performer can, and that's a unique and special like quality to have. So I appreciate it, and I really kind of love it. Privately, I do being the workhorses that I feel like Roddy and I and Kyle and Cole are. I feel like the hammer needs to be dropped on these two. Like I appreciate the fun and I want to have some of that myself, but there's a certain way that we do this business. What you saw Kyle and Finn Balor was doing this business right with respect, and I think we need to put some respect back on those tag titles. I think Roddy and I are the exact two guys to do it. It's it's just time to drop the hammer on them. And it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate them, and I don't want them to be successful within NXT, because I think that they help make our product something unique and something special. But, yeah, it's time to drop the hammer, and tomorrow night, Roddy and I drop the hammer.
All right, and last question, just that, you mentioned winning the opportunity to win the tag team titles again. You guys have done so much on NXT. A lot of people, when this draft happened, were like, oh, the Undisputed Era, they're going to move on to Raw and SmackDown. It did not happen, so you're still remaining on NXT, and there's still, it seems like there's a lot of potential of what can happen there. Is there a want for you to kind of try see what the Undisputed Era could do in other brands, or you guys feel like there's just so much more work left to be done, and you're happy with the atmosphere that NXT provides you?
I think we could be successful in multiple roles, doing multiple things anywhere within this company. So I don't feel as though any one of the four of us are afraid to go that direction. At the same time, I don't think any one of the four of us is not interested in continuing to do what we are doing, because it is so much fun, and it is so real, and it is something tangible that I think people attach to because it's real. We've said it as like a saying and whatnot, but it is legitimate in that, like, when we're talking about the Undisputed Era, like, we are NXT, and we are. Like, we are flag bearers for what this brand stands for. I think there may be a few other guys, too, that I think fans would identify as such, but there is no collective energy that is as synonymous with a brand, dare I say even Raw and SmackDown, like the Undisputed Era being synonymous with NXT. And I think that's part of why we were hired, is that we were four guys that were like workhorses. And we're four guys that can walk it, that can talk it, that can walk it, and to varying degrees have an ability to do all of the things that you need to be successful in this industry. I think the four of us are all capable of those things in multiple different ways, and we can give you different flavors of kind of that same ability between the four of us. Therefore, it makes us special and unique. And I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of room, a lot of land left to conquer within NXT, and that's where I think for the four of us, the Undisputed Era, that's what we're focused on right now.